Should we get you your cold brew?
Oh,
And
let's go.
enter cold brew.
Nice. Okay, hold on. Let's see. See if they did a good job.
Uh-oh.
Is it like Starbucks? Is it? Well,
It's
clearly
Live
not
Nation
Starbucks.
brew.
Live Nation brew.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good.
Out of 5 stars.
5. That was an interesting one. 3.8.
Appreciate
It doesn't
that.
break the 4.
Yeah.
It does not break the 4.
Totally.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Ones to Watch Chef's Choice. I'm Abby Kenna, and today I'm joined by Mark Ambor. How are you?
Hello. Nice to meet you. Thanks
Nice
for
to
having
meet
me.
you for the first time ever in this second. We were discussing how you're in LA for a few weeks.
Yes.
How do you like LA generally?
You know, it's grown on me. I think when I first came here, I hated it because I'm an East Coast boy.
Yes.
But I do really like it now. It's really fun coming here for trips and kind of just to change up the scene.
Yeah.
The scenery, I guess. And yeah, I don't know. I definitely, every time I come here, I feel like there's one new thing I discover that I'm like, oh, I kind of like that about here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the place I'm staying at, like you could just see the craziest sunset every night. And like in the mountains and the water, it's like different than the East Coast.
Yeah. That's ideal LA.
Yeah. Like why do the sunsets go crazier here than like anywhere else?
I don't know, but the East
why.
Coast sunrises
Okay.
are very good.
I could get behind that.
Okay. I do feel like I'll be like, oh yeah, LA is the place. And then I go home to the East Coast and I'm like, oh, but green.
Yeah. Very green where I'm from.
Yeah.
Extremely.
Yeah.
That's honestly every time someone comes to Pleasantville, the town I'm from, or when we go and travel and see other places on tour, the one thing everyone is like where we're from is so green and everywhere else in the world is not nearly as green.
Yeah, it's so rare.
Yeah.
These days. Is Nashville in the running for your
No, you can't walk anywhere in Nashville. Fuck that place.
Wait, really? It's just scrapped.
No, yeah, I really like the people there, but then besides that, well, you can't walk anywhere.
Okay. That's one of your criteria, I
You
guess.
gotta walk, yeah.
Okay.
Gotta be able to
And
walk.
you're considering LA?
Well, no, I'm not really considering LA. I like the trip part. So I basically I just decided I'm moving to New York in this conversation, it sounds like.
All right, we figured something out. Perfect. I think that's it then. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me once again. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, we're going to go through a little 3-course meal of
Sounds
your
good.
music. And to start, I would love to know if listeners had never heard your music before, what is the first song you would tell them to listen to?
Well, I think I feel very lucky that my biggest song right now is one that I'm really proud of. So I think it would have to be, if they've never heard Belong Together, they'd have to listen to Belong Together. Just
Okay.
because I wrote that song in my parents' basement alone, produced it out in the room next door to my bedroom, and it has taken me and a bunch of my really close friends on a crazy adventure the past year and a half. And the song is about them. It's about where I'm from. It's about my friends and my family and the people that lift me up. And so I feel like that's one that's very important for both the reason I'm here right now and also just for my catalog of music.
You and me belong together like cold iced tea and warm weather.
Yeah, what a good... Wait, why can I not think of how to say the word I'm about to say? Synchronicity of of a song to go viral, dare I say,
Yeah.
to be one about like enjoying the people around you and like being grateful for your life.
Yeah. It's one of the things I'm most grateful for in the past year and a half is that it was, a song that I truly resonated with that I built on my own.
Well, tell me about writing Belong Together and what sort of made that song happen.
So I actually, it's pretty funny. So I, before Belong Together, I was dating someone and for like a year, a long time. And we had this trip planned to go to Europe together, backpacking, like staying hostels, like the cheapest way you can do it, just to like go experience Europe and like, I don't know, live a little.
Yeah.
And so we had that planned. We broke up. It was still planned. We went anyway. And it happened at a time where like, as exes we went. And it happened at a time where
Crazy.
in music, in what?
I said that's crazy.
No, it was actually insane. But it was fun though. And it happened at a time in my in I guess my career so far where I kind of felt at a crossroads of like I felt like I was making music for social media, to be honest.
Yeah.
And in terms of like you you know, as you start doing something, you realize what kind of works, and you almost subconsciously start making things to like try to appease views or like, you know, streams or whatever. And I didn't like that because it didn't feel like very honest, or it didn't feel like there was longevity in that either. So that kind of moment hit at the perfect time where I was going on this trip and I took a break from music entirely. And I didn't bring an instrument. I literally brought a backpack, not my laptop. I barely was posting anything online. And I just went there and I just lived. And I came back home and I just wrote like I've never written before. And that's when I wrote basically the majority of my first album, Rockwood, and like Belong Together and Good to Be were like some of the first songs I wrote off that song called I Hope It All Works Out. And like, yeah, it was just it was a moment where I came back refreshed, not writing anything for anyone but myself. It feels important to me. And it's like a good reminder to me that when you're honest and authentic, people feel that and they resonate with that. And that's just what the past year and a half and what the songs have done for me has reminded me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, a crazy lens to be experiencing backpacking through Europe. Like, let me see all of these places for the first time with my fresh ex.
Yeah. Actually crazy.
Yeah. That'll give you some song material.
Yeah. But the funny part is the songs were like, there were like maybe one or two about that.
Wow.
Like Belong Together is not about that.
Yeah, no.
It's
about friendship.
Yeah, literally.
But also, I do feel like with social media and stuff and like the instant gratification, like the grind set culture, whatever, it's so easy to forget that we need to experience to be able to create.
Definitely.
So I love that that was something you learned.
Yeah.
How has it been since having these like viral moments now? Like, are you feeling like you're still able to hold on to like creating authentically?
If I'm being brutally honest with myself, I would say right now, I feel like is the first time I've been back in the place of doing that.
That's good.
I think there's something about well, for me anyway, there's something about like, I feel like I really need to separate myself sometimes from being online to be able to like learn about myself.
Yeah.
So I've kind of been in that phase right now of just writing. I'm like deep in writing the next album right now and stuff. And, you know, we've put out a song called Who Knows, like as just a single. And we have another one coming that's another single, not off the album, just like kind of things that I've made over the past year and a half that I liked, that are just fun songs that I want to live on. And, but yeah, it's definitely, important for me, to take a step away from social media to like remind myself who I am.
Yeah. It's hard to feel real when you're like living forward facing a lot of times. So it's good that you're stepping back.
Yeah. So right now, to answer your question, I feel like I'm in that space right now. But for the first time since that last moment I was just describing of after the European trip.
The backpacking excursion.
Backpacking X trip.
Yes. Well, now that we're deep in it, I would love to know a song that best represents where you're at in this point of your artistry.
Yeah. So, I mean, me and, you know, my little crew, we went on tour for the past year and a half. And, of course, you know, everyone back at home, whether it's my manager or whatever, and, you know, even my parents, and they're all like, where's new music? Where's new music? Where's new music? And, so I've been like struggling, but trying to write on the road. And, right now I would say my entree would be a song that's just come out or is about to come out whenever this comes out.
She's out.
Okay. A song that I just put out called Closer to Me. And I wrote that in a hotel room in London, the beginning of the European leg of the Rockwood tour for my debut album. And I don't know. I was bored one day. I just came up with this kind of like walk down on the guitar, and I just started building it out in Logic in this hotel room and recorded it a different way than I ever had before. And I was in London, and somehow the word rubbish snuck into my brain, and that came out in the song, and I thought it was kind of stupid but kind of funny, and awesome. I kind of just ran with it. And yeah, I don't know. I included my band in helping produce it and stuff, and I think that's kind of this new, maybe I can say kind of this new wave that I'm on of just like I've gotten to experience playing with a band for the first time in the past year, and I've fallen in love with that. Like,
yeah,
my favorite music, it usually comes from bands growing up. Like I love those early Coldplay albums, but also just like even Billy Joel has his band, like the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, you can name all the classics, but I just feel like there's something about having the people that you're comfortable with and engaging with them on stage that I've fallen in love with over the past year. And I want to include those guys and into this stuff I make moving forward. It also like adds different elements of like, there's kind of like a rockiness to it, which I really enjoy, and a liveness that just feels kind of human and easy. So yeah, they're included in Closer to Me, and my plan is to include them a lot more in the upcoming stuff.
Sure. So by saying that it's produced differently, do you mean that like the band, they're writing their own parts in that sort of way?
Yeah, to a degree.
Okay.
Yeah, in that song, I kind of built out the foundation. They came in with ideas and we kind of went through it together. But I think moving forward, my plan is to just go in a studio with them and build it with them to start. Because a lot of times, growing up, I never really had like collaborators. I was kind of just alone. And I've always wanted to have people that I trusted enough to help make things that I make better. And for the first time, I feel like meeting, my band and us getting to live through the experiences we've lived through together the past year. They bring something that their brains work in ways that mine never will. And I'm explaining collaboration, I guess, but I'm obsessed with it. So
yeah. So did you produce Rockwood all yourself?
For the most part,
Okay.
I kind of had this mentor. His name's Noel Zancanella. He's kind of this. He's a producer that's been around for a bit, and he was just the first person to sit me down and just be like, I don't care what anyone else says, you can produce. And he stood by that, and he still stands by that, and he's been helpful in rounding out my production and teaching me things, and also just being there to be like a supporter, and obviously someone that's had success in this industry before telling you that you're good, even if they're lying. It inflates your ego and it makes you feel better more confident about yourself and what you're putting out in the world. So I kind of did it with him and a few other collaborators in that process that I met along the way, but for the majority it was just me and Noel.
Okay, sick.
Yeah.
Bringing Rockwood, since you produced it yourself, and I could imagine you're like playing all of the parts, recording them yourself, bringing that to a band and then interpreting it. How was that bringing it to the band for tour?
Oh yeah, that's a great question.
Okay,
so that process is kind of also one of the reasons why I want my band involved in the making of the next album. It's because I've learned by playing and practicing these songs that I wrote alone and built out alone. When I brought them to the band, we created like just a better version of the song, in my opinion. And, I almost am filled with some regret about some of the songs because they're way better live than they are recorded. And so I don't want to make that mistake again. And that's why I want them to be part of the next album. But yeah, that was definitely it's been a year of a lot of learning in a lot of ways about, the way you put your art out in the world and the way you work with people, and just myself, and
It sounds like you have good people around you to be learning all of those things. So
I like to think so.
that's good. Well, what sort of inspired the lyrical content of Closer to Me? Why did you write that song particularly?
Yeah. It's kind of funny. It's very casual, I'd say.
Sure.
I was kind of talking to someone right before I left for tour, and it kind of was something that came out of nowhere, and I was really enjoying it. And I don't know, I just started mumbling, and I started singing this part after the chorus of just like, I love it when you're closer, and then then I just kind of liked it, and I just kept running with it, and that's kind of how it came.
A little jam.
Yeah, it was just like a little vibe alone. When I go back and listen to it, it just feels so easy to listen to, and I think there's something I really enjoy about that. It's not really overthought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Thanks.
Well, for our third track, our dessert, I'd love to hear about a personal favorite. So that could either be like something from way earlier in your discography, something upcoming. You could have a tapas situation and have multiple, whatever feels good.
I'm between two. Okay, I'm gonna stick to one.
Okay.
I want to say you asked me a question before of like, have I felt as inspired and as honest recently, and I told you that not until right now I felt that way, and that's like almost 2 years in between
Yeah.
those 2 points. And I just keep going back to that moment when I got back, of just like when I wrote all of these songs that have, you know, brought me the success that I've had the past year and a half. And Good to Be was one of the first ones that I wrote, and it's literally just about my dad. And I think I've been trying to tap back into that place of just not caring about what anyone thinks of what I'm trying to say, or like how it's going to perform online, and just trying to get back to like who I am and like how I see the world and how I put that out, and like how I feel like right now there's a lot of stuff in the world that makes, you know, that can make you feel quite hopeless.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that through touring and seeing people and hearing a whole room of, you know, 3,000 people scream back to you, "Damn it, it's so good to be alive," that there are so many redeeming qualities about like life and all of it that we overlook sometimes, because like the bad things overshadow that. And yeah, I just feel like that's where I'm trying to pull from again. And I just remember when I was writing Good to Be, that song is literally about just the way my dad sees the world. He's very like charismatic. Honestly, I find him extremely annoying sometimes, but like very charismatic, like very people person, makes everyone feel really good and happy, and is always kind of like finding the silver lining in things.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I find that valuable, and I hope I can be that person, and I hope I am that person. So yeah, probably say Good to Be is a personal favorite.
That's awesome. I love being annoyed by your parents, even when they're being like good people. It's so valid.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone else likes him usually. Like when they meet him, they're like, "Oh, he's funny," and then sometimes he is, and then sometimes I'm just like, "Oh my, like get away from me."
He's your dad. You're supposed to feel like that.
Yeah, I guess.
Did your parents sort of influence you starting in music?
Not really. I mean, my mom had me take piano lessons when I was super young, which is definitely led me on this path. Yeah. If I didn't know how to play piano, I definitely would have not started making music. I think she had me do it because she like heard that it was good for like a developing brain to learn piano or something. And that was, if you're going to have your kid learn an instrument, piano was the best one because it can translate to other ones the best or something. And
okay, smart.
And I know. I was like, damn, some good foresight. But yeah. I would say in that sense, they're also huge fans of music. So I hear, you know, my parents listen to everything from like James Taylor and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young to like Dua Lipa and like Snoop Dogg and like Bee Gees. Like they enjoy it all. So like I think just having a palette for everything is been inspiring for me growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I have a couple of closing questions for you. I would love to know if your music were a candle, what would it smell like? Could be an abstract smell, a vibe of a smell. I'm obsessed with just like, this might be a hot take. I think some people hate this, but I love just fire smell, like fire pit. Like when it gets in my hair, I love that. You know what I mean? Specifically in my hair.
Well, yeah, because you know when you shower after and you smell it again, and like,
yeah.
I know some people that hate when their hair smells like that, but like that and like just anything pine, I like. Like I always spray this like, you know, Aesop. Mm-hmm. There's just like scent called Whill that I always use. It's like foresty. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I feel like that scent like it's like grounding. It feels like home and cozy and warm and like the forest.
Yeah, that's very Boy from Upstate New York.
Honestly, I love that.
That's the name of the candle. I would also love to know what your favorite sound is right now, but like a life sound, not a music sound.
Whoa, that's a great question.
Thank you.
Wow. There are actually so many.
That's the thing about sounds.
Yeah, it's a good point. No, I mean there's so many good ones. You ever like, this is a really random one.
Okay.
You ever like in a car and someone hits the blinker and you're like, that's a satisfying sound right now.
Yeah.
There's like good blinker sounds.
I agree with that. Some of them are really bad.
Some of them are quite bad, but some of them have like this like this they have like a
mechanical quality to
mechanical
them.
But it's also like not like high. It's not like it's like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it feels good. So maybe like good blinker.
Good blinker.
I mean, but there's so many things, I feel like.
Okay. We're sticking with that.
We're sticking with blinker. Do
Okay.
you have one though?
I hate when you guys do this. They turn my questions around at me. Right now, this is kind of weird. I'm like living in a house right now with 3 other musicians and just like temporarily. And the first day I was living there, I heard one of their alarms go off for the first time. And it was like a really cute alarm sound. And I had one of those moments of like, aw, like I'm living with like sweet, nice people.
An alarm though. That's kind of
But it was,
interesting.
you know how some people have really like jarring alarms?
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like that's what I associate alarms with.
Yeah, this was like a fairy waking up. I was like, that's adorable and I feel safe.
I love that.
Yeah.
I really want to hear it now.
I'll find out which one it
Okay.
was.
It was
But,
just like an Apple like stock one?
Yeah.
Okay.
From like 3 rooms away though, you know?
Mm.
It was nice.
Oh, I just thought of another one. Do you know those like those AI videos where it's like where it's like yeah, I hate AI. I'm not well actually don't tell the robots. But there's like this like they like cut like ice.
Oh.
I don't know how else to
No.
describe it. It sounds like it might be horrible, but when you watch it, it's really satisfying.
Okay.
Yeah, in my opinion.
I'll look into that.
Yeah. If it comes up.
Yeah, I'll let it, and it will now.
Yeah, it will now. Exactly. So
For sure.
we're good.
Well, my final question for you is who your ones to watch are. So who are you listening to that you think we should also listen to?
Let's see. Have you guys heard of Billy Joel? Okay, let's go with this. Good Neighbors just put out an album that I feel like everything they make it's like ear candy. I just get stuck in my head and I get obsessed with it.
Totally.
Yeah, so we're gonna go with them.
Perfect.
Good
I actually
Neighbors.
listened to that last night.
The whole thing.
Yeah, the whole album.
There's a bunch of good ones in my opinion on there. Great production.
Solid.
Also, just like a vibe.
Yeah.
Like it reminds me of like MGMT stuff and Passion Pit. Oh god, I love Passion Pit.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does sort of have that vibe.
Yeah.
Wow. Good stuff.
Mm.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Congrats on Closer to Me and
Thanks.
congrats on being on tour
Thanks.
and all of those things.
Thank you. Thank you.
Once again, this is Ones to Watch Chef's Choice. I'm Abby Kenna and this is Mark Ambor.